Hello everybody and welcome to my Minecraft world. I've been wanting to make Minecraft videos for a while now, but I don't know how to do that. I figured the easiest way is to just start by showing what I've already built. This world was created, I think, a couple of years ago now, by me and my brother. Unfortunately, he's lost interest since then, and so it's just kind of my world now, which is okay, but uh, hopefully he'll see this video. I don't think he watches them, but if he does, well, hello. This is what I've done since you've been gone, and you're always welcome back because sometimes it gets lonely. And also, just in case you all wondered, yes, this was completely built in survival. No cheats have ever been used, nor creative, nor nothing, nor even peaceful except for maybe once. It's all survival, plain old survival. But, first of all, we're starting in the world spawn. This is where everybody spawns at the beginning of their game, assuming they don't have a bed. And I wanted to make this kind of a welcoming area, make it look like, it's not big or anything, it's just kind of a natural ring and a lot of vegetation and natural things, and I just wanted to make it look good. I'm not going to show you what we have, what we can do. But under chest, of course, here, if you need it, if you just died and you are native to this land. But, of course, there's this path right here, and you're meant to follow it. So you follow the path right up here. There's a little broken down shack, and it's got a few rules. Like don't kill Leonard, sorry. Don't be a butt. And travel to there, which is right over there. We'll be there in just a second. And there's also a few starter items, so that's a bit outdated now. Moving on over here, this direction, which is toward our home base, the first build you'll come across is a red barn. This build is based off someone else's design. I think the guy's name is Corrales or something like that. I saw it in the background of someone else's video, but I think he's the creator. I'll try to have all people's channels in the description just because I feel like that's fair. But it's just a red barn. This is meant to hold horses. So I have a few horses. One stall's empty. But the idea is that if you died and you don't have a elytra, you can come over here, grab yourself some armor and some saddles, be on your way for wherever you need to be. There's, of course, decoration upstairs as well. Right next door, chained up, is a mule named Biscuit. He's got a little shack here to keep him out of the rain. Okay, so now we're at our home base. The first builds that you'll come across is this house right here. This is my own design, and this is meant to house people who are visiting. There's not much inside. In fact, there's not really anything inside, so I won't tour it, but it's meant for if you have just joined our world and need a place to stay for a couple nights and just a starter base, you can use this house. And it actually has been occupied, which makes me happy. Moving on, just across the street is this little bitty house, which is an automatic egg farm. That just there they are. And some excess right here. This is just meant to have eggs, because you never know, you might need eggs randomly. Moving on, we have this longhouse right here, which is a temporary build that's been here almost as long as the world has. It's just meant to hold villagers. I made it look nice recently, but it is technically still temporary. I have future plans with villagers. Right here is a tent. It's been moved. It used to be somewhere else, but this is for trading. If ever a player wants something that I've got, they can just check if it's in here and then make a trade with me. There's no set prices. It's just by negotiation. Here's another tent. This houses a villager who trades golden carrots, which I know I'm not using right now. They're a very good source of food because they have a lot of, I think they give you regeneration and really good on saturation as well. Right across over here, another tent. This guy buys rotten flesh, and he's just kind of supposed to be like almost part of the elf thing I've got started up here. Just see in a minute. And he is tied in directly with one of the builds, which is why he's in this location. I do have plans to make this area a marketplace, and that's why I've got 3 tents kind of set up right now. But of course I'll have to remove the longhouse before I finish. We got a path with a nice little rinky-dink bridge, and it's kind of supposed to be the magical, almost elf type area. This is our first area. This build is based off of someone else's. I wasn't sure whose it was anymore. It's someone else's. I'll try to find it in the description and next to it, but like elf build I can't remember of or something. I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong thing. but it's just meant to house a couple holes. So there's an arrow, you point down, so you drop down here, and you can just AFK pretty much anywhere in here. And spiders and drowned, actually cave spiders, they'll fall in here, they'll die, their loot will get picked up and sorted accordingly. If you have a bunch of gold armor or something like that that you don't want, you can put it in this chest, it'll come out this as nuggets. And this is of course where you can fuel it. Then you can just head back up the water stream and be back on your way. Okay, now that we're back, we can go across this bridge that we saw a second ago, and I'm sure that you've already seen all these builds in the background by now, but here is a giant mushroom that somebody has built into a house. This is actually a very recent project I've got going, and I'm still doing work on it every once in a while, but we'll go ahead and go inside. Dun 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 dun. Nothing. Yeah, I know. I started designs for the inside on a creative world, but obviously I've not got anything set in stone yet. Here we've got another wart farm. This is just meant for looks. I do have a more useful one elsewhere that we'll see in the future, but I just like the looks of it. Plus I wanted a lot of nether wart nearby my house. Moving on, there's a little bit of garden, a tall mushroom, and a path which you might have seen earlier with some stairs. Actually I don't think you did, but it's fine. Alright, now that I'm back at this longhouse, this is actually one of my proudest builds I've ever built. I've created like 3 or 4 different worlds now. I don't know why I like it so much, but I do. So anyways, we can just go inside. Ground floor, it's decorated some. I'll actually need to empty this soon by the looks of it, but the fires are put out just to help reduce the lag. I don't know if it actually helps or not, but there's also a bunch of extra, well, yeah, there's some extra cacti. Nothing else is really furnished in here at the moment. And just across the street is this house. This is meant to almost be like a storage with a house on top thing. I don't know. But you have your sugarcane farm, which is very slow, as well as bamboo. I actually have it storing in 2 different places just for looks. All that's underground. And this place is technically furnished. There's not much to see. There's actually an invisible painting right here. Unfortunately, there's a bug right now that makes paintings invisible. That's fun. Anyway, coming outside, and we come across first our nether portal. I just have some rocks around it. I keep changing the design of our nether portal. I don't really like it. Eventually, I want to move it to somewhere better. Anyways, another thing that has been with us pretty much since the start of the world has been these pens. There hasn't always been skeleton horses in them, but these sheep have been with us for pretty much the entire world. Unfortunately, there also used to be another pen here that had a Lightning McQueen, which was a named zombie pigman. Unfortunately, there was a bug a while back that when your world updated, it randomly deleted some of the mobs, and he was one of the ones that had to go. It was very disappointing. He was a zombie pigman that was originally actually just a regular pig, but then got struck by lightning just by random chance. It's one of the rarest things we'd ever seen happen, so we kept it, and now it's memorialized by this. Right, but behind me, however, is this house. This is my house. I live here, but I did not create it. Jesse got tired of seeing my chests out in the open and was like, alright, I'm going to build him a house. And, of course, I made it my own, but exterior-wise, it's mostly his design. Anyway, I'll give you a short tour of inside. So this is how I have my things sorted, is you look at the block right here, and it, of course, correlates to what's in the chests above it. So on this side, of course, you'll see you have your grass, and then here's sand, and you have your dirt, and then your grass, and then your gravel. I just combine all these because I think, alright, you can break them with a shovel, so they kind of go together. But of course, the reason that the stone is so short right now is because it's being used in a current ongoing build, which you'll see later. Moving just outside my house, we have Jesse's house. This is actually one of the larger buildings of the area. I won't go into inside it just because it's not my personal build, but it's got a pretty good interior in there, especially the basement. He's got a lot of like little bitty farms and things. I quite like it. And over here he's created a bamboo farm, which just gives us extra bamboo. And right next door we have a sea pickle farm. Very nice. Moving on just a little bit more. I've got this cave I've created, and it is just meant to store our map, which we on occasion update. And as you can see, there's some stuff up here that we're going to head to. But before we leave the home base, we of course need to finish it. So right here we've got some chests, some water bubbles going into it, and this stores slime. We do have a slime farm, and it's just underneath here. It's hard to see, and I'm not going to go into details. It's just a giant hole in the ground with some platforms in it, more or less. We have a cave right here with some slime in it. It's supposed to be like a wheelbarrow pulling the slime out. Some crates with mostly filled with slime in it. And these guys, which according to their captain's log, are about to store this onto the ship and then sail off with the cargo. The ship does have a full interior, though it's extremely small, so there's not too much to see. Moving on from the ship, following the dock, we're going to go past the crates, and we have a little bitty tunnel right through here I've dug out. This just has a walkway. There's not too much to see. It's quite pretty, I think, but this is actually the second most recent build. Right here houses a villager that trades for efficiency 5. He's just kind of stuck in here. There's not too much in here either. It's very plain. Moving past the walkway, we have another dock right here, and of course we'll get to that boat in a minute. And another tunnel right here. This was dug out by me just so that we could get from one side to the other, because the ocean kind of wraps around us a little bit. It's a little hard to get around otherwise, or it takes a while at least. You have to go around the spawn and everything. And this is what I'm currently working on. I like how it looks, but I think right around here maybe I'm going to add another villager, and he's going to be trading for raw fish, because I have multiple farms that we'll see in a minute that get me raw fish, and I don't really have much purpose for it. And going right below our house, we have this mine right here, and to our right is a cooked chicken farm. That's why we don't really need that fish for food, because we have all the food we could ever want. And right here is pumpkin farm. It's of course stored inside the wall, and on this side is melons. Right below the stairs right here is a trapdoor, which does give me very quick access to my mine. Now, I usually have a beacon going. I've turned it off like in the middle of this video, I know. And yeah, it just is a big hole in the ground. Anyways, back at the bottom of this hole, we can go straight. And of course, you can see my diamond pile. And this is just to showcase my diamonds. Unfortunately, I never did finish it, because I ran out of diamonds. I was like, oh, let's go mining, and then I kind of forgot about it. And this has been here for a while. But you know, once you get your tools and mending, you don't really have much use for diamonds, and it's not a very pretty block, so I thought we'll do this. Just to the right are some crates of stone and cobblestone. If you go in here, you'll see there's a villager, and he sells Silk Touch. The reason I sell Silk Touch right here is because, of course, to mine stone and get stone back, you need Silk Touch. And these right here are stone and cobblestone generators, so you mine it and it'll be picked up but put in this chest, and same on the other side, and when it's full it'll turn off and we're all good to go. Just on the other side is a very similar setup but for snow, so you can flick the lever and shovels will go into your inventory and you can just mine for hours and collect snow. Anyways, now that we're up at the mine, we'll go ahead and check out this boat. This is not my design. I did take some liberties in how I created it, of course. I did make it my own. But I will put in the description the original designer, because this is actually kind of awesome. So anyways, on the deck, use the thing to push up the anchor. Can't remember the second one that's called. You have your cannons, which somebody messed up apparently. And you do have ladders on each side to climb up. You'll see right below me. And on this side, of course, I have a plank. There's not too much interior. As far as what's finished, you have this room. I know it's plain, but the most interesting part is the captain's quarters. A nice big chair, an unfinished treasure map, as well as a finished treasure map, and just a couple knickknacks around. There's a few finished sections below deck, but there's not too much interesting, so we'll just go ahead and leave the ship. I thought real fast I'd show you this ship in the sky in a few different angles. This thing is probably the better looking and more impressive thing that I have in this world, of course. Again, it's not completely my design, but I still like it a lot. Moving on to right here is an island, which I did make myself. I wanted to do some terraforming, and I plan to do more in the future. I actually am doing more currently. And but this is just an island. On the back side, we do have some buried treasure that's been dug up, and it's got some gold and a stone shovel that was used. And just outside this dock is, of course, this hole that I'm sure you've already seen. You go in the hole, and this is where we do our enchanting. So in this little section, you've got your already enchanted books, your books, and your lapis. And of course, there's a grindstone and an anvil, and pretty much anything that you would need for enchanting in that area. And of course, over here is the actual enchantment table. It does have a weird looking setup, but it does go up to the full 30 max. Overall, though, this is actually one of my favorite interiors I have in this world, and I do visit this area from time to time. It's just something about the lighting, the lapis in the walls, or I don't know. I just really enjoy it. Moving on, we're now past my house and Jesse's. We're just going to follow this road a little bit, and we're going to come across this stable. This is one of my favorite builds that Jesse's created. I'm really happy this is here. This is used for the same reason my barn is used, which is just to house horses and be able to get from place to place easily. Right next to his barn is this staircase, and just follow the road. It'll take you straight to it. It'll take you to a bridge. I'm very happy with this bridge, and as you'll see in the top left of my corner right now, I do end up making a bigger one with the same design right here. Over here real fast is a museum Jesse's created. I won't show you the inside of it just because it is Jesse's build by himself. I did, I guess, get some of the bone for him, but yeah, he's actually got quite a few builds, including this one. You can sort of see the outline just above it over there, and there's another one out in the distance, a whole entire village he's created, which is probably one of my favorite parts of whatever he's ever built on this is back there. I won't show it just because it's just his stuff, so if you want to check it out, come play with me. But right here we've got a natural bridge. This was, I think, my first thing I ever really truly terraformed. I'm pretty happy with it. And I did that so that I had a room to place this build, which is a sort of skyscraper. It's really just a shortish building. It's created from bone blocks. The reason it's created from bone blocks is because right underneath it is a skeleton spawner, which of course they get shot up into the building, back down, where you can punch them once, and their items are collected. This building has a few decorations, but not much inside. It is pretty plain, as I like it. Right here is a cage for some bees. I have future plans for these. That future plan is right there. It's in the making. It's a honey farm and other things like that, but yeah, it ain't there yet. However, what is across the street is my iron farm. This thing, which has room actually to put 2 on if I ever wanted to, is one of the most useful builds I have in this entire world. And yes, it is made somewhat out of iron blocks. If you go inside, iron golems and unfortunately cats, they spawn in, get shoved into here. The lava and fire kills the golems while the fire finishes off the cats. String gets put here, poppies get put here, the iron gets put over here. It's a beautiful sight. Around the corners a little bit, if you follow the street, is my drowned farm. I know I've already got one, but I found another spawner over here, so I thought I'd make another one. This way I can have this running while I have the iron golem farm running. Unfortunately, it's too far away from the skeletons, but I'll have to do. So the way this works is the zombies spawn underneath me. They get collected and shot up into this chute, where they can then get caught in this cobweb, and while they're in that cobweb, they're technically underwater, and right when they fall, they turn into drowned. Where then this thing, if it's turned on, it's very loud, but if I turn it on, it'll kill them. Then their items will get collected through the floor, and they'll get shot up through here, and then upstairs they'll get sorted, and they'll shoot back down into here. If I get things I don't want, such as gold armor, I can put into this, and they'll get shot up through here. They'll then get smelted and shot back down into their proper storage. There are a couple other floors, but it's mostly nothing to look at, so we'll just go ahead and go to the next build. Alright, I told you I'd get back to this bridge eventually. So, if we follow it, there's of course more road, and there's this. This is a tree farm, and it is definitely functional. It's not automatic, it's manual, but I do it mostly for looks. I like the way it looks. I think it looks cool. So the way this works is it is manual, but you have your 3 block tall oak. You can mine it here, replant it. You go up 3 more blocks, you'll be at your spruce. 3 more and you'll be at your acacia. 3 more and you'll be at your birch. 3 more and you'll be at your dark oak. And finally, your jungle, which of course, as you can probably see, I've recently used. Pew pew. But if you look at the back side, you'll see that jungle actually ends up getting pretty tall by the end of it. If we go and follow the road, you'll see this bridge. I'm very proud of this bridge. I know it's kind of plain, especially since it was based off of the other one I'd already created, but it is very long, and back when this world was a realm, your render distance was shortened quite a bit, and you actually couldn't see from end to end, and I don't know, I'm very proud of it. Of course, all legs do go all the way down to the ocean floor. Following this bridge along, and if you're wondering why my elytra isn't making noise, that's of course another glitch. The road does stop here. It does technically go on looking like this all the way to our end portal, but it ain't much to see as far as that road. So unfortunately the decorated part does end here so far. This is a build based off of someone else's by Scar, I believe is what he's called. And I never did finish the interior because I kind of got burnt out after just putting so much glass and other things down. But eventually it'll be an automatic farm for flowers and bone meal. Moving on from there, if you can fly over here, I've got an industrial area, well, the starts of, very much to it. So the way this works is you'll switch a lever that's inside underneath me, and water will break everything that you see in front of me and collect it down under, or it'll be collected automatically. So here we have another wart, which is what I was referring to in the beginning of the video. Here we have our cocoa beans, and here is went for wheat or carrots or whatever. And unfortunately, it looks like something broke that. Funny thing I wanted to mention real fast, I've actually got a 0-tick sugarcane. I don't really ever use it anymore, but this build actually broke, and so Jesse found a different design, and he created that design, and that design broke, and I was about to tear this down for resources, but I decided to test it just a few days ago, and apparently this one works again. I don't really know what's going on, but yeah, it's here. Just next to that 0-tick is this little design that Jesse's got, and it's a villager breeder. It's very useful. It's kind of hunky the way it works, but hey, it works. The sun sets, I'll show you this real fast out in the middle of the ocean. It's a mob farm that Jesse built, and while it is small, it's out in the middle of the ocean, so it does work pretty well because things only spawn up inside of it. Here's another look at my home base. Actually, I really like it at night. I like how the lighting looks. Makes me very happy. Anyways, it's time to head into the nether. So now that we're in the nether, there's not too much to show. There is a house that Jesse's built that way, but it's not mine, so I won't go all the way over there. There is also a really long tunnel that goes to a biome for resources, but I won't show you that just because there's nothing there. Let's go this way onto the starts of what was gonna be a tunnel, but I gave up on the design. I don't really like it. So at our first crossroad now, of course, we have 3 ways we can go. The right takes us straight to the end portal. There's nothing there, so I won't show it to you. The left actually takes us to an ocean monument farm, and I will show you that real fast. So just outside the portal, we have a glacier over there where I collect some ice from time to time. Mushroom Island where I collect mushroom stuff, and there's also more ice right here. And right down here is the ocean monument farm. The way it works is they either get put into kill chambers here, or if I switch a lever, they'll get sent to the nether, which is actually what they're currently being done. If we go back to the nether, you'll see that this is a kill chamber right here. It actually takes them down to 1 hit. And then I usually, if there's a lot, will use a splash potion of harming. But as you can see, it's already working. And I can just punch them. Stupid squealers. And their items will get picked up and put into these 2 chests. Alright, back at the crossroad, let's move straight down. So not much farther at all, we'll come across another nether portal. And on the other side of it, we have this very loud contraption, which is a raid farm. This is one of the most incredible things I've ever had in a survival world. Unfortunately, due to the way they changed how things spawn recently, this actually doesn't work. The design of it still works. I just need to shift a few things around. But I haven't had much use for it lately just because I've got so much stuff saved up. So I'll fix it eventually. And of course, this is a giant smelter. But anyway, that's about it. There's obviously a few small things here and there that I've neglected. Of course, a lot of this has been hand built, and you just haven't seen the before, so you won't know what the after looks like. You know, for example, this whole beach right here, a lot of this cliff right here, a lot of this rock right here, and this entire beach through here, including what's you can see under the water, was hand built. But I will go and show you this direction. One more build that is ongoing is my big project that I've got going on right now, and then I'll wrap it up. So as you can see, we're actually at Jesse's mob farm, and right behind it, I've got this big thing. This is around 160-ish blocks tall from sea level to top, but it's going to be a giant island with something on the top. I haven't decided exactly how to decorate this or not decorate it, but as you can see, it does go under to the sea level. It does connect to the ground. This is a giant island, a giant cliff, and it's about halfway done. As you can see inside, it's about halfway done. But as you can see, all of this stone is being hand placed, which is very tedious and kind of difficult to make it look good. So I do it from time to time, and it makes me pretty happy. The entire purpose of this place, however, is a gold farm. And as you can see, I've got some gold here. I've already used some gold, and I've already moved some others. And this also gets me raw cod, just like the ocean monument gets me, which I guess I neglected to mention, but whatever. I hope you all enjoyed this video. I know it's not even close to like I normally do, and I know this is actually the first video I've ever made that's not at least a first-person shooter. I think it's only the second I've ever made that's not some sort of Call of Duty. But I hope y'all enjoyed. I might do more Minecraft similar to this. Of course, it won't be a world tour because I don't have another world to tour. Other than some old stuff I don't work on anymore. But, you know, it could be some progress updates and general Let's Play type things like that. Let me know in the comments if you enjoy. Leave a like as well. Yada yada, all that same YouTube mumbo jumbo. But I'll go ahead and let y'all live your lives now, so goodbye.